Small bit of comic news, going over some shows. We have some updates on Falcon and Winter Soldier. Comics getting canceled, comics coming out, comics everywhere. Let's get into some of the recap of the things that are going on as we head into the weekend. Hey everybody, this is Perch. We're still in that fragile state where comics are still trying to kind of get their legs out under them. Marvel is almost ready to come back to full speed. We've seen Empire roll out and everything. I got to ask actually in the comments, the twist in Empire that, and I don't want to spoil it, but the twist that maybe the villain is a different villain than originally thought. Did anybody, was this a twist to anyone? Like I was reading online and Marvel's like, readers are everywhere are shocked. And I'm seeing some comments on their tweet of people like, I never saw that coming. How did you not see that coming? Like the covers and the promos had the Avengers and the heroes like fighting back, plant invasion. How is this a twist? I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm confused, and I always want. Maybe I'm becoming too inside, and I need to back it up. I don't know. Anyway, on to other things. Speaking of Empire, Strikeforce has been canceled. This was the book by Tini Howard that brought together kind of an odd collection of heroes. We had Angela, we had Monica Rambeau, who desperately deserves better. Just better. We have Blade, we have Spider-Woman, which is sporting a different costume look and isn't vomiting everywhere like in her solo book. And we have the Winter Soldier and Damian Hellstorm and Wiccan. Although he has a different name now, I believe. I can never remember the new name. Damn. No, it's in the solicitation just says Wiccan. All right, all good. So anyway, Strikeforce was supposed to tie in big time with Empire. There's a picture of Wiccan getting overwhelmed by plant creatures. Again, never mind. But it's being canceled to issue 9, which is coming out in a few weeks. And basically, they went back and they've actually rewritten the end of the comic. And because it was going to end on a cliffhanger, they've changed the cover around to make it feel like more of a finish. And the title is wrapping up. So Tini Howard saying that there's lots of great plans, but unfortunately, those plans will have to be brought into a different book. And here's where I'm hoping they don't jump into a new book so quickly. Just take some time. Don't immediately throw another book out onto the shelf because it's they're not sticking. So I think a little bit more time would just be a smart plan to make sure these things go. We did get some late breaking news that a couple titles, in particular Batgirl, Batman and the Outsiders, Justice League Odyssey, are ending in October. And there's some expectation that some of those will be relaunched and come out, but it is it's hard to it's hard to tell which are going to return and which won't. I think a lot will be up in the air between the months of kind of October and January as we get through Death Metal and we kind of see what the new landscape of DC looks like. There's some news and some buzz that Batman's getting a brand new costume, all shiny and metal. And no, this isn't for metal, but it looks like some armor, like a kind of space armor. And they're teasing this for Batman 100 as a concept drawing. I suspect number one, they're not going to change Batman's costume to this permanently. Just going to say guaranteed. I'm willing to say I will eat this channel if this is his new costume. This looks like the kind of thing that Batman puts on because he's fighting some kind of villain where he needs some extra protection or something to gear him up. Maybe his body's all smashed up or who knows. But this is it looks like a stunt costume, as they say. But this is coming at the end of Joker War. I mentioned before in another video that Joker War is wrapping up a little bit faster than I expected. We're already teasing some new villains. We have a villain called Ghostmaker that's going to be showing up in Tinian's run post Joker War. We've got a teased battle between Batman and Clown Hunter. So there's a lot of things being thrown at the wall. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just there's a lot that's going to happen basically between now and October in Batman. Meanwhile, you've got Death Metal over there with other things, with the Batman everywhere. So it's It's funny because death metal is being hyped as an event that's going to feature Wonder Woman, and she is. She's been kind of the key kind of narrative protagonist in the book, but it is still the year of Batman. Batman is everywhere. So anyway, slightly new costume. There you go from that. Over on the Disney side, we'll just keep bouncing back and forth. Falcon and Winter Soldier was due to come out about a month from now on Disney Plus, and it's mostly shot. So what's going on, what we've heard, it's delayed because of the COVID situation, and but it's nearly done. It was like at the final little kind of polishing up, not quite post production, but almost post production. So it's definitely delayed, and based on kind of now you do the math backward. They haven't started being able to work yet. They haven't been able to get production fully back onto track. So if they were, and basically the series is supposed to come out in August, and things shut down in March. So if you can do the math there, March, April, May, June, July, August, we're about 6 months behind. And if we haven't fully started yet, sure, they'll cut some corners, speed some things up. It feels very unlikely that this is going to hit this year. I think that there's going to be a Hail Mary of some sorts to try and get this out by Christmas. I think Disney Plus really needs it out. They need their big Marvel show to be ready to go this year. They will get another season of Mandalorian in here, it looks like, but it seems like it's going to be a bit of a stretch to get it out in 2020. So this series, I think, has a lot of risk to slip into next year. However, if they are able to get some things moving here in the next few weeks, and somehow pull it together and work quickly extra hours, everybody loves that, then there's a possibility that we can get this out toward the end of the year. But we're looking at least, I think best case scenario, 4 months delay, which would put us right into November, December. So that's where that is headed. There's a bunch of other kind of comics and other things coming out. If you haven't been paying attention to some of the other pieces, the Maestro is getting a series here from Marvel. So there was a trailer that was released, and Peter David is returning to his creation. I'm looking forward to that myself personally. I'm curious if you guys are as well. And over in Spider-Man, we're getting the Sin Eater. So we're getting a couple of characters coming back to the table as well. In terms of wild speculation, I've heard that there's some Dark Horse news coming, basically kind of as maybe a response to the Alien Predator series moving on to some other places. There's going to be some kind of announcement here in the next week about things that they're looking at, things that they're doing to try and kind of strengthen their line. Obviously, a lot of good buzz coming off of Boom doing the Universal deal, even if it's smaller level. Again, stability matters. If you can predict and have stability for what the next couple months look like right now in comics, that's a major thing. So if you're kind of keeping track at home, I think DC is currently holding the best hand in terms of just having a predictable slate of what's going on. Marvel is trying to get back up to speed and getting close. I think it remains to be seen if Empire is going to be a big wash or not. It feels kind of like it's going to come out, but I think any expectations of major sales there are punted at this point. And they're going to be really just trying to move everything toward, getting basically use Ten of Swords to get the X-Men line back up and rolling to where it was in December, January, to get people back kind of recognizing and trying to digest the whole line. Cutting some of those titles probably a good move, but I think Marvel's really eyeing Null and King in Black as the thing that's going to get them back on the map and get them going. So that's December. So I think between now and December, you're going to see kind of a bunch more little cancellations, shuffling, kind of streamlining of their line as they try and just put their best foot forward for 2021 and see what the world looks like. Meanwhile, on the indie side, Image is still looking for that hit. They have not found the title that's really going to take it from Walking Dead, that's going to provide that same level of kind of sales and line confidence. Saga continues to be kind of MIA for when that comes back. And in the others, you have then your IDWs, which continues to flirt with bankruptcy at various times. You have Boom now having some good movements. We're going to see what goes on with Dark Horse. You have, you've got a bunch of companies all kind of making their own little moves to stabilize their line and put out a consistent run. You're seeing a lot of new little companies try to do little imprints. But what we haven't seen, and what I expect we will see before this month is out, so I did predict before July is finished, we will see some people join DC in distributing with these other distributors with Lunar or UCS. I think that's imminent now. I've heard there's some papers, things are trying to be signed. So I think hopefully we'll have an announcement here soon of what that means and how that all goes. I would suspect, and I'm not tipping my hand, but any company that is trying to get a deal or working with a big outside media company is likely to want to take that deal, because in terms of making themselves look more stable to the industry, that's going to really help. Having a single point of failure, it was so public, and now with some of the PPP loans and other things that are going on, I think people won't be able to afford to stay with just one horse. So that's kind of how that goes. Anyway, do you have any questions? Any of the stuff I mentioned, are you looking forward to it? Is there something exciting going on there? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let me know if any of this stuff excites you. And in the comments below, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter or Facebook at Comic Perch, and thanks for listening.